Okay, here we go. We're gonna do Masay Kasimar. 1 second.
You'll get faster. I hope.
Okay.
Let me take my glasses off so I can use this.
Mosai, 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 Kosima. Hey, Rishay, Yobutsu. Mosai, 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 Kosima. Rishay, Yobutsu. Hey, ya, 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 Hey man, that was groovy.
Hey, kid.
Hey.
What time is it?
Time for Gezintahait 3. That's what time.
It is time for Gezintahait Street. And guess what? We have a story tonight. I just want to introduce this story by telling everybody that starting this Saturday night, we're doing a thing called Slichos, where we ask for forgiveness of Hashem for any wrongdoing that we may have done the year before. Now, a lot of people make it in to a whole sad, heartrending rendition. But since we have already been through that work of straightening out what we did in the last year, we go into this slichas, into this asking forgiveness in a very happy way, realizing that the King is our Father. And he's going to figure out how to get us off of any problems we might have. And rejoicing in the fact that we're serving the King. So this week, for about a week, give or take, every day we wake up early and we say this liturgy, this prayers of excuse me, basically. Sorry if I messed up. And usually every morning we get up early before the regular prayers and we do this thing. But this Saturday night, we do it at 1 o'clock in the morning, right at the beginning of the morning, so that we could get it started right in the exact minute. And but that's not what the story is about. The story is about what happens on the third day of Slichos, which will be on Tuesday morning. And that's what this story is about. The third day of Slichos has a special quality that is not found in the other days of Slichos. That's going to be this coming Tuesday. A quality that was hidden for generations. It was revealed by each Rebbe only to the one who would become the next Rebbe. It was a secret teaching only for the person who would become the next Rebbe. On the third day of Slichos, Gimel Slichos, the Alter Rebbe would say a mimer just for his dover who would become the next Rebbe. When the future Tzemach Tzedek became old enough, he was going to be the third Rebbe. He was invited to join the Mittler Rebbe in hearing the Maimer from the Alter Rebbe. Tzemach Tzedek continued the tradition by saying a Maimer on the third day of Slichas to his son, the future Rebbe Marash. In turn, said a Maimer for his son, the future Rebbe Rashab, who followed suit by saying a Maimer for his son on Gimel Slichas, the previous Rebbe. Each Maimer was recited on the third day of Slichas, and each one who heard it was cautioned in very strict terms not to tell anyone that they heard, not just what the Maimer was about, not to tell anyone that they heard a discourse on that day. Therefore, the practice and the specialty of the third day of Slichas remained a secret for almost 200 years, until finally it got to the previous Rebbe. Our Rebbe points out that at first glance, it's a wonder that the previous Rebbe revealed the tradition to the public. Nobody knew about it. It was completely secret until the previous Rebbe told the story about it. After all, the select individuals who heard the Maimer were not allowed to reveal it even to the people closest to them. And here comes the previous Rebbe and gives out the secret in public. However, similar occurrences can be found throughout the Torah, beginning with the generations leading up to the destruction of the Holy Temple. For example, the souls of the Tanoim, the sages, were imbued with greater revealed soul powers than the generations who followed them. And so too, the Amoraim, the ones who wrote the Gemara, and the Gaonim, who were the first generation after the Gemara, and the Rishonim on their turn. And even though the earlier generations were on a higher spiritual level, each successive generation added new explanation and insights to the Torah that were not revealed by the higher generations. Given that the early generations were spiritual higher, how is it possible for later generations to add to our Torah knowledge? Our sages provide a metaphor to answer the question. A midget standing on the shoulders of a giant. The one on the shoulders could see farther even than the giant could see. We are like the midget on the shoulders of a giant, and as a result, our weaker generation can uncover new insights and explanations in Torah. Furthermore, we have an obligation to deepen and broaden our learning in all areas, as Gimel Aleph knows very well.
I know this.
True, we don't have the merits and the holiness of earlier times, but still in all, we have the responsibility to clarify and refine our portion in the world by selecting the good sparks from the bad. And for that reason, we're given extra strength and concentration power, which is a sword for victory, to prevail over the darkness of the world and to accomplish our mission. In brackets, to bring Mashiach. Just as we're able to reveal new insights in the Torah in general, so too, we see that the later generations have witnessed revelations in the inner secrets of the Torah. And these concepts were previously hidden from everyone, except for special individuals. Finally, the Arizal decreed that now it's a mitzvah to spread this wisdom, the secrets of the Torah. We accomplish it by sharing the inner secrets of Torah through the teachings of Chassidus. And even though the third day of Slichas was so precious that it was guarded as top secret, and its unique quality was only revealed to the leaders of the generation, Nevertheless, each Rebbe would infuse the souls of his generation with the special power of the third day of Slichus. However, the situation changed when the Jewish people needed extra strength to accomplish their service. The previous Rebbe revealed the greatness of the third day of Slichus through Chassidus, which is the soul of the Torah, which is bound to the Jewish soul, to help make it easier for each Jew to accomplish his particular mission. If you don't know it, if you didn't know it up till now, you have a particular mission that nobody else can accomplish. One of the special qualities of the third day of Slichus is that it always falls out on Tuesday, the day which Torah called good in two different verses. And this indicates that Tuesday is good for heaven and good for the creation.
That's very good.
Very good. Tov ma'od. On all the days of Slichas, we ask Hashem for forgiveness so we can have a good year. But on Gimel Slichas, a double good is manifest. Therefore, our davening accomplishes more, at least twice as much, than on the other days of Slichas. So if we're going to pick one day to commune with Hashem and ask Him for the strength and forgiveness, it should be on Tuesday. And when the previous Rebbe saw that it wasn't enough just for the leader of the generation to be empowered to beneficially affect the Jewish people through his third day of Slichus, he found a more efficacious way to bring its good about. He publicized it so that all of us, men, women, and children, old and young, would use the third day of Slichus to accomplish good benefits for the coming year. And through the effect of our service on the third day of Slichus, we will affect all the other days of Slichus. And Hashem will give us and all of the Jewish people double good in Rosh Hashanah and throughout the year.
Amen.
Now, I just, every once in a while, I make this announcement that don't think that the stuff I'm saying is stuff that I come up with. I'm saying only teachings of the Rebbe. And tonight, as everybody knows, what in our broadcast, what our main focus is on Mashiach. And we're going to discuss tonight various different levels of godly revelation. One level of godly revelation will be what's called paradise, Gan Eden, where the soul goes after it leaves the body to get godly revelation. And the next level will be called the days of Mashiach, where we'll be in the body and we'll have godly revelation. And the third level is called Olam Haba, where we will become reincarnated. We'll get up from the dead and we'll be alive in our bodies. And there will be a higher godly revelation. And there will be two godly revelations. The one that's higher than the paradise and the days of Mashiach, which is the reward for the Torah and mitzvahs that we do. And then there will be a higher revelation where Hashem will reveal to us how He loves us. And that's what we're going to discuss, those levels tonight. But probably first, the boys have a niggun to share with us.
Yeah, that Gan Eden sounds good. You know, Gan Eden is even better than something brewed by an original process from the choicest of hops, rice, and the best barley malt. What do you say? What are we gonna play? Oh yeah. Hey, Ashenu, 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 Matei Chokenu, Ashenu, Ashenu, Mahatei Chokenu. Hey, Ashenu, 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 Matei Chokenu, Ashenu, Ashenu, Mahatei Chokenu. Oh, man, Novoim, Manoim, Geoleinu, man, Novoim, Noim, Geoleinu. Shaseinu. Oh, my no, even no, you gave a thing. Oh, my, oh, boy, Shaseinu. Oh, my, oh, Shaseinu. Oh, my, oh, Shaseinu. Oh, my, oh, Shaseinu. Oh, man, no, even no, you gave a thing. Oh, my, oh, Shaseinu. Oh, man, no, you gave a thing. Oh, my, oh, Shaseinu. Hey, Ashreinu, 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 Matei Filkeinu, Ashreinu, Ashreinu, Matei Filkeinu, Ashreinu, 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 Matei Filkeinu, Ashreinu, Ashreinu, Matei Filkeinu. Oh, man, no, you gave a leinu. 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 Oh, my, for shall say no. 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 Oh, man, no, you gave a leinu. Oh, my, for shall say no. Oh, man, no, you gave a leinu. Oh, my, for shall say no. Hey, ya, ya, da, ya, 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 da, da, da. Da, machnayam, da, 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 hey, ya, da, ya, ya, da, 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 da. Hey, ya, machnayam, bam, 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 oh, ya, ya, oh.
How beautiful is our
Groovy,
inheritance.
baby.
There is one of the Perkiavos, the ethics of the fathers. I don't know why this is an ethic, but it says in there, Kol Yisrael yesh lachem chelek liolam haba. How do you say the rest of it? The plant.
Nemar amech kulam tzadikim.
Ame kulam tzadikim, like it says, your people are all righteous. They are the planting of your hands.
That's one of their perks. Get it from Pirkei Avos.
Gemara. That's a pun. Now, in that explanation of that Pirkei Avos by the Rebbe wants us to understand the levels. First of all, the resurrection of the dead. Like it says, every Jew has a portion in the world to come. And he's talking about the time of the resurrection of the dead people when it says the world to come. Because the one who has no portion in the world to come is the one who denies that there will be a resurrection, that we will get up and live forever. And the one who denies it has no portion in that. Now, when it says all Israel, Kol Yisrael, is not like Gan Eden. Gan Eden, paradise, that's where there's souls without bodies. But in the world to come, we will be in bodies. Our bodies will wake up from the dead. Paradise, Gan Eden, requires many conditions. In order for the soul to bask in that level of godliness, it needs clean hands and a pure heart. They are souls without bodies. But sometimes that Gan Eden, that paradise, is called the world to come. It's not what we mean the world to come that we're explaining, but it's called the world to come. So there could be a confusion. And why is it called the world to come? Because the soul can achieve it when it leaves the body after 120 years. So I'm alive now, and my world to come will be paradise. But that's not the world to come that we're talking about here. The world to come that we're talking about here will be how the soul will be resurrected in a body at the time of the world to come. You get that, Tim Wallace?
I got it.
Good.
In the world to come.
But the revelation of reincarnation, the world to come, is much greater than paradise, which is a reward for learning Torah, while the resurrection of the bodies in the world to come will be the reward for the mitzvahs, as opposed to the reward for the learning Torah. Torah is closer to the soul, while mitzvahs are closer to the body. The revelation of Olam Haba, the reincarnation, comes after an intermediate time called the days of Mashiach, which is similar to the world to come, that there will be souls in the bodies in the days of Mashiach, not like Gan Eden, not like paradise exists now, but the days of Mashiach and the world to come will exist in the future. It's understood that the revelation of Olam Haba is greater than the days of Mashiach. Olam Haba, in the sense that Olam Haba is paradise, the place where the soul is going to go when it leaves the body, is higher than any godly revelation we have in this world. And the days of Mashiach is even higher than that revelation that the soul has in paradise. And then you have the third level of the world to come, the reincarnation from death, is even higher than the days of Mashiach. So you have paradise, a higher level called the days of Mashiach, where the souls will be in bodies, and a higher level than that called the world to come. Nevertheless, everyone, every Jew, whether he's a sinner, has a portion in the world to come. But the lower revelation called paradise, Gan Eden, you have to meet certain requirements. You have to be a certain level of purity. But because Olam Haba, the world to come, is a revelation of the reward for mitzvahs, and every Jew, even sinners, is filled with mitzvahs like a pomegranate is filled with seeds. That's why everybody's going to have the world to come and enjoy the reward in the world to come, because everyone is full with mitzvahs. But why does this Pirkei Avos, this Mishnah, finish with, they are the planting of my hands, through which I am beautified? We understand that the Olam Haba is the world of reincarnation, which will be the reward for the mitzvahs. And we understand that the days of Mashiach is also a time of souls and the bodies getting godly revelation. And we understand that the paradise is the soul itself without being encumbered by a body. That's what it says. Kol Yisrael, all of the Jews, Yesh lahem chelek la'olam haba. All of them have a portion in the world to come. But why does it add on, they're the planting of my hands through which I am beautified? And that level, that planting of Hashem's hands, is our essence, is the essence, the godly essence of our soul, which we have even before we did any Torah and mitzvahs. So why does every Jew have a portion in the world to come? Because of the mitzvahs that they do, or because they're from the planting of Hashem's hands? You get the question?
Yeah, is it because it's not another void? Is it because of the void that they did, or because Hashem gave it like a gift that has nothing to do with their own void?
That's very close. The answer is that Olam Haba, the world to come, has two levels. One, the reward for our service of doing mitzvahs. And two, the revelation of our essence, which is higher than any service we could do. Because our essence is really one with Hashem. And that's a higher revelation than anything we could do for Hashem. And the world to come has both of those levels, both of the rewards. The reward for the mitzvahs that we do, which is basically the revelation of the nachos that Hashem gets from our service in the world to come, is the light in our service of doing the mitzvahs. And through that, we'll be raised up to the second level. The revelation of the planting of his hands through which he's beautified. The revelation of our godly essence. And the main revelation of Olam Haba, the world to come, is not connected to our service of Torah and mitzvahs. It's the revelation of our godly essence. And how Hashem loves us the same way a father loves a child. The father gets very good nachas when the son does good in school, but he has a love from the son, for the son that transcends anything the son could accomplish. And that revelation comes as a result and after the reward for serving Hashem through mitzvahs, and the revelation of our essence through the essence of Hashem being revealed to us comes after, and because of the service that we do through doing the commandments. The reward for the mitzvahs has two levels. Maybe it has three levels. The first one will be we're going to have a reward of having a nigga. And after we'll see what the reward is in the world to come. Here's a guy who knows something about the world to come.
Hello, Bezalel.
Hi, Marvin.
Hi, Wayne. Bezalel, I have a question.
Uh-oh.
So, do I have a portion in the world to come? Because I'm pretty sure the Gan Eden thing ain't happening for me. Oh, don't judge, Wayne. Just because I'm the evil inclination, it doesn't make me a bad father.
I think that you probably have a portion. As a matter of fact, there's probably come a point where you're going to help us do the Torah.
That would be a nice change of scenery for me.
What do you think about that?
Well, you know,
the king
Bezalel
calls you in and says, I have a new mission for you, Marvin. I want you to help the Jewish people.
Well, you know, Bezalel, I never liked this job anyway.
I know.
You think I like running around and making people do bad stuff? It's real bad, you know. What do you tell what do you tell your kids when it's like a come to work day at school? Well, kids, my father is the evil inclination. Oh, sorry, kid. I knew I shouldn't have shown up. See?
Oh, how about take your kids to the job day?
Oh boy. Yeah, that's even worse. They'll be like, oh, that looks like a fun job. I'll be like, oh, no. You know what, please? Why don't you guys sing a good niggin? Maybe that'll lift my spirits.
Oh, you want somebody to lift your spirits?
Well, or to put them down anyway. Either way, it's fine. You figure out what you want to do.
Thanks, Marvin.
You know, Bezalel, I was this week, I was getting very high. I was getting very high because it was Chai Elul, the 18th of Elul, the birthday of the Baal Shem Tov and the Alter Rebbe. So you know, there's a special niggin from the Alter Rebbe, and we thought we would play that for you in honor of the birthday of the Baal Shem Tov and the Alter Rebbe. There we go.
Aya Eladaya Yama Mama 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 Mu Inadam Oyana Eladaya Yama Mama 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 Mu Inadam Ya Eladam Ya mama 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 mo yada ya yada ma ya yada ya mama 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 mo yada ya yada mama ya mama mama oh yina mama 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 oh ya mama oh yina yo yina yo yina mama 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 ya mama aho yo yinam ama mama 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 mo yinaram yo yinam yo yinam ama mama ya la mama mo la yo yinam la mama yo yinam ama mama ama mama yo yinam ya mama mama la ram yinam la ram yinam ama mama ama mama yo yinam ya
Oh, Elaram, ayo, yinam, oh, yeah, Elaram, ayo, yinam, ayo, yinam,
Okay.
That came out good, Lee.
Not bad for the first one through.
It was pretty good. I don't know about your voice, but it definitely had the Abish's planting in there.
The life of godly reverence. By the way, that song that we just heard, the intention of that song describes the journey of the soul in the world and how it works and how it succeeds. And I don't know how to be able to explain the intention in the 4 stanzas, but maybe we'll do some research and we'll be able to help explain it. Now, the reward in paradise for the soul without a body. To give an example through our friend Hashem's ineffable name, the Yud, the little letter, symbolizes the first godly revelation. And from that, the dark part shines off a whole bunch of godly light. And it finally, from that Yud, it describes an outflow long and wide into the hay of Bina. And that light that effulges from that hay is the light that the souls receive in paradise. Now, all that is called a light that fills all worlds. And the idea of it fills all worlds is, since the godly light is infinite, a light bulb that's 100 watts, for example, if you put 50,000 watts into it, would explode. So too, the light that fills up all worlds will be like 100 watts in your 100-watt light. It's godly light that we're talking about. But just to give an idea,
This isn't your grandmother's light bulb.
that it is very, very constricted in order to the level of the containers in that world. But the second 2 levels of the days of Mashiach and the world to come is a much greater light. It's a light that surrounds the whole thing equally. It's a huge revelation of godliness, even more so than the ineffable name. And that's what we're going to get in the world to come and in the days of Mashiach.
Good times are coming, baby.
Now, the revelation in the world to come from the mitzvahs that we do now is a revelation of it's called nachas in Jewish, the great feeling Hashem gets when we do what he wants. He gets the light in our service. But right now that the light is hidden because it's too big for us to take. But it's a time when in the world to come, we'll be able to receive the revelation of how good we made God feel, basically. And through that revelation, which is the reward for the mitzvahs that we do, will be raised up to the second higher revelation level, the one, the planting of his hands, where our essence will be revealed as one with the godly essence. And that's the real reward in the world to come. But it only comes about after the reward that we get for serving him through doing the service of Torah and mitzvah.
That sounds very rewarding.
It's very rewarding. In Olam Haba, we'll see with our eyes Hashem himself. We'll actually see God. Not a light, not a revelation of infinite power, but will actually see God. Higher than any kind of revelation. The reward for the mitzvahs, which the mitzvahs are Hashem's desire that we do the mitzvah, is much higher than the wisdom of the Torah learning, which is symbolized by the Yud, which is the light that fills the whole world. But the main revelation in the world to come is that the essence of the Jewish people will be revealed in souls, in bodies. The planting of my hands through which I am beautified, Hashem. So we have 3 levels. The one level of paradise, the one level, the days of Mashiach, and the prophecy of the prophets, of the Jewish prophets, everything that they prophesied about Mashiach was about this level, the days of Mashiach. When beautiful bread will grow from the ground, and beautiful garments will grow from the ground, and everything will be, the whole ground will just be gold and silver and precious jewels, and we'll be able to sit and acquire knowledge of God. There will be no jealousy and no war. And that all those prophecies are prophesying about the days of Mashiach, not about the world to come. Now, Olam Haba also has a name, like we said, paradise is Gan Eden. And we said paradise is called the world to come because it's where the souls go when they leave the bodies. But it's not the world to come, which is the resurrection of the dead. Now, the world to come, that's the resurrection of the dead, is also called Eden. But it's a different Eden. It's not the Garden of Eden. It's the Eden which no eye has seen. Adam Arishon, the first man, was in Gan Eden, which that garden was separated from Eden by the river. A river went out from Eden to water the garden. But in the world to come, Olam Haba, which is drawn down through our mitzvahs, to be finally revealed to us, which is a revelation of Hashem's infinite delight in our service, and something of which we will be revealed to us in the days of Mashiach. But the real revelation of Olam Haba is not the revelation of godly delight from the mitzvahs that we did. It's the revelation of Eden itself that no eye has seen yet. It's not Hashem's delight in the mitzvahs and the service that we did, which itself is unimaginable. It's an unimaginable revelation of infinite delight that he has in our service. But it's an essential delight in us, for ourselves, regardless of our service to him during these 6,000 years. That's the real reward in the world to come. And that's the difference between paradise, Gan Eden, where the Torah wisdom, the Chachma, symbolized by that Yud, has to come out through outflowing through the river, which is the Hay, which is Bina. So in paradise, you don't get the full strength of the Yud of Chachma. It has to come through the river of Bina. But the reward for the mitzvahs and Olam Haba, Hashem's desire is higher than wisdom. Eden itself, which is much higher than the Chachma of the Torah. And that's in general, but focusing the microscope on the details of the world to come, since the revelation of the light of the mitzvahs happened also in the days of Mashiach, and in the days of Mashiach, Eden was not revealed. This Eden that no eye has ever seen, it will only be revealed in the world to come, which is Hashem's essential pleasure and delight in us, higher than his delight in our service of Torah and Mitzvah. The difference between the days of Mashiach and the resurrection of the dead in the world to come, and also both levels of the world to come. First, you have the days of Mashiach. Like we said, that's what the prophets prophesied, that there will be no war and everybody will be just acquiring knowledge of God and all the riches will be available as much as you want. It's superior to Gan Eden, to paradise, because in paradise there's souls without bodies. But in the days of Mashiach, there will be the souls will be in the bodies and will be actually in the world. The ground will grow delicious bread called lechem fennek.
I will have an everything tree. You know what that means, Leib? It means it'll be a tree that grows the breads with everything spice on it. It's my favorite.
And also there'll be trees that grow beautiful silk clothing. And everything we need will be made available.
He's saying it's all in the days of Mashiach, their souls that are currently at that time before outside of bodies will be reincarnated into bodies.
No, this is before the reincarnation. Probably what it is, there'll be the people that are born into body will be very big souls that will have a big revelation of godliness. Like it says that the Alter Rebbe is a new soul. So the question that you can ask, what do you mean he's a new soul? Does it mean he's a new soul that was included in the first man and Adam Arishon, but it was never born into the world? Or do you mean it's a new soul, a new Adam Arishon? Or even higher than that, a soul that comes from the level of the light that surrounds all worlds. So those souls apparently that will be alive in the days of Mashiach will be actually souls in bodies that got born into the world, not the revelation of the waking
So
up
people born in the days of Mashiach.
I believe so. I don't know if they're born in it or before. I'm not sure of the exact chronology there. And the reason that the days of Mashiach will be in a physical world where Gan Eden is only spiritual, because only light that fills all worlds is in paradise. Only what comes down through the Yud is in paradise. It has to be limited to fit into the world. Its revelation is only spiritual. It can't reach all the way down to this physical world. Not so in the days of Mashiach. There will be unlimited revelation all the way down to this physical world. No war, all the money you want, all the good things that you want, and the whole occupation of the whole world will be to gain knowledge of God.
If everyone has all the money they do want, then money's worthless.
Right, but they'll have whatever they want. That's what it says. All this diamonds and pearls will be on the ground, will be like dust on the ground, like you say, worthless. Because you won't need it. You'll have everything that you need in the highest form of luxury. And the second difference between Gan Eden and Yom HaMashiach and the days of Mashiach, Gan Eden paradise has levels. There's the lower Gan Eden, the lower paradise, and there's the upper Gan Eden, the higher paradise. And each one of those has uncountable levels. Like the sages say, Talmidei Chachamim, those who learn Torah, how they are in Gan Eden, those souls are always ascending in level. They have no rest. It indicates there's some kind of service there to be able to reach the next level. The soul has to nullify itself and forget the last level to be able to achieve the new level. And how it nullifies itself is very interesting. It dunks in the river called the Nahar Dinar. to be able to forget its previous level of godly life, of realization of godly life. Its earlier level becomes nullified. That's what it says. There's no rest for the righteous in the world to come. They're always going up to higher levels. And they have to forget the last level to be able to achieve the new level. And they forget by going through this river, dunking in this river, some kind of river of fire or something like that. And then the soul ascends through a pillar, through which it becomes nullified. The revelation of the higher level, the soul is nullified to be able to receive the higher revelation, and it achieves it by going through the pillar between the levels in paradise.
It sounded like the pillar from the letter of the Baal Shem Tov, the same pillar.
Huh?
The same
That same pillar like in the letter of the Baal Shem Tov?
Probably. There certainly is a pillar. It's in the Sefer Abahir where the souls go up on Shabbos. And
Wait, we found the pillar.
and it's similar to our service down here. Go away from bad. That's going through that river that makes you forget, and do good. That's the going up through the pillar. But in the days of Mashiach, there will be a whole bunch of revelations of godliness. But since the soul will be in the body, it will not have to lose the earlier level to be able to achieve the new level. Now we understand that Hashem himself cannot even be called infinite, because infinite indicates there's a starting point that spreads out infinitely. But by Hashem, there is no starting point. So he can't even be called infinite. Not only has no starting point, he is higher than any starting point. He's higher than any infinite outspread. And the infinite light is just an indication that Hashem reveals to let you know that he has infinite capability. And that's called the infinite light, is the revelation of his infinite capability. But he has a whole bunch of other stuff that he's not revealing. So to explain further the differences of the three levels of Gan Eden, the days of Mashiach and Olam Haba, we'll explain it a little bit more after we have a niggun. How does that sound?
So that sounds good. Blake, what do you say? What's he gonna do?
What about the boogie, the Beis Hamikdash boogie?
Yeah. What you got,
Is
Blake?
that any good? Or you-
Well, we'll do a little.
Oh,
You.
the cycle.
Achtung.
Ah. Oh yeah. Ay ya do de ay ay do de ay 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 di da ma ay ay ma ay di da da ah do de ay ay do de ay 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 ay. Is it you like the key? Oh, I want to go higher. Hey, ay ya do de ay ay do de ay 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 di da ah ay ay ma ay di da da. Ah, do de ay ay do de ay 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 di da. Ah, ay ay ma ay di da. Ay 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 di da ya, ay 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 di da ya, ay 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 di da. Oh, di da ya yo di da. Di da ya yo di da. Di da ya ya yo di da ya yo di da. Di da ya ya my ay di da. Am I in the right place here? I am? You sure? Yeah? Oh, I am. Okay. Ready? Ay, 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 dididam. Ay, 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 dididam. Ay, 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 dididam. Oy, dididai, ay, oh, didam. Dididai, ay, oh, didam. Dididai, ay, oh, didai, ay, oh, didai, ay, oh, didam. Dididai, ay, oh, bam, ay, ay, dididam. Hey, didai, ay, oh, didam. Dididai, ay, oh, didam. Dididai, ay, oh, didai, ay, oh, didai, ay, oh, didam. Dididai, ay, ah, bam, ay, ay, dididam. I do,
Like where you go, like where you go, Lane, take it away.
Ay, 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 dididam. Ay, 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 dididam. Ay, 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 dididam. Ay, dididam, ay, oh, didam. Dididam, ay, oh, didam. Dididam, ay, oh, didam, ay, oh, didam, ay, oh, didam. Dididam, ay, oh, ay, oh, ay, dididam. Oh, didam, ay, oh, didam. Dididam, ay, oh, didam. Dididam, ay, oh, didam, ay, oh, didam, ay, oh, didam. Ay, 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 da, 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 oh, what was that? Oh.
Creation is through the godly light that becomes contracted to fit inside each creation according to its capacity, form, and function, whether it's a whole world or an individual creation. And that light is contracted from up to down. The higher levels have more light because they have bigger vessels to hold the light, and the lower levels have less light because they have smaller vessels to hold the light. The higher spiritual creations, the world of Bria, for example, and the angels that exist in that world contain more light than the lower manifestations that have more coverings and less light. That's why in paradise in Gan Eden, the souls nullify and forget earlier revelations of comprehension of godliness to reach a higher level where there's more light and realization of godly light. They have to divest themselves of the limiting garments of the lower level. And for example, our forefathers, the souls of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Moshe Rabbeinu, have been sitting in the higher paradise for more than 3,000 years.
That's a long time.
And when the sages say 3,000, there's a symbolic connotation which indicates the created worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, and Nasiya. There's three created worlds. So that 3,000 is symbolic of creation. And they have been going up through the spiritual worlds in the higher paradise for over 3,000 years since they passed away. And through which they have already ascended through those 3,000. More than 3,000, all the way up to the world of Atzilus and higher. Higher than any created spirituality to the level of pure godly unity. But even those souls that have reached that level will come into bodies in the world to come to receive the revelation of the essence of the infinite.
So they have not seen the Eden where no man has ever seen.
Correct, where no eye has ever seen. They're just going up and up in infinite levels. But in the body, in the world to come, it will be manifest, that level of Eden that no eye has ever seen. And even the revelation of the days of Mashiach is still only a light. It's albeit a big light from the surrounding level of infinite light, incomparably higher then that revelation of godliness in paradise, which is the light that fills all worlds, but the revelation of the reincarnation of the souls in the world to come will be a revelation of essence of light, like it actually is, higher than being contained in vessels altogether. And even the world to come, as we said, there will be two separate revelations of godly infinite satisfaction. The first revelation will be, we will share Hashem's delight and satisfaction in the mitzvahs that we did. And even greater than that, the revelation of the Jewish essence, the connection to the essence of Hashem, which is called the planting of my hands, through which I am beautified. Like the parent gets love and delight in the kid even higher than what the kid accomplishes. Until even the revelation, finally, that the Jewish body is chosen by Hashem in his free choice and rooted like the Jewish soul in his very essence. I hope that's a help. I hope it got us out of our day-to-day rut. Now is the time of Elul. It's possible to connect with Hashem. The king is in the fields. Use it out. Take advantage of the time. It doesn't last very long. It's only for this month and maybe in next month, in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. What do we
Sounds
have?
good to me. What do we got, Lee? Which one? Ki yanu amecha ve'yato elikeinu ayanu banecha ve'yato avinu ayanu amecha ve'yato elikeinu ayanu banecha ve'yato avinu ya 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 ay 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 ya ma ya ya ay 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 ya ya ay 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 ya ya ay 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 ya ma ya ya hey ya 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 ma ya ya ay ya ma ya ma ya ma ya ay ay ya ma ya 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 ay oh ya na 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 ma ya na 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 oh ya na na mo ya na na mo ya na na mo ya la da hey ya ya ma ya 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 ay ya 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 ma ya 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 la da ma ya 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 ma ya ya ay ya ya ma ya la da ma la da hey ya ya ma ya ya ki yanu amecha ve'yato elikeinu ayanu banecha ve'yato avinu ayanu amecha ve'yato elikeinu ayanu banecha ve'yato avinu ya 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 ay ya 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 ay ya 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 oh ya na 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 ya ya na 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 oh ya na 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 ay la ya ya ma ya ya hey hey oh ya na 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 oh ya na 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 oh ya na na mo ya na na mo ya na na mo ya la da hey ya ya mo ya na 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 oh ya hey oh ya na 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 mo ya na 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 oh ya na na mo ya na na mo ya na na mo ya na na hey ya ya Oh, yeah, na, na, oh.